Hey guys, since it's Halloween, I figured I'd do a video on some of the best Halloween events that have occurred throughout RuneScape's history, and I'm very curious to see how many of you were actually around for all of them. Now, this isn't a traditional top 10 since I've ordered the events in basically chronological order, but since I did skip over some events, I figured I'd call it a top 10 regardless. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope everyone has a great and safe Halloween if you celebrate it. Number 10. In 2001, before RuneScape 2, RuneScape Classic had only officially been out for less than a year, even though it had been worked on since 1999. In honor of Halloween, RuneScape Classic had its first Halloween event ever, during which pumpkins were dropped to celebrate the occasion. Throughout the day of the 31st of October, pumpkins were scattered across random towns throughout RuneScape during different times of the day, in which a player would simply pick them up if they came across one. The pumpkin, at this time, was one of two edible holiday items, a distinction it shared with the Easter egg. It makes me wonder just how many pumpkins still exist in RuneScape 3 today. Number 9. In 2002, an event similar to the 2001's Halloween event took place. During the 2002 Halloween event, Halloween masks were dropped all around RuneScape and came in 3 different colors: red, blue, and green. An interesting thing about the Halloween masks is that when the RuneScape 2 beta was released in 2004, Halloween mask models were quite different than they appear today in old school RuneScape and in RuneScape 3. Today, they're a full mask all the way around your player's head, but in RuneScape Classic and in early RuneScape 2 for a short period of time, the masks left the back of your player's head exposed. Since 2002, and with the exception of OSRS, Halloween masks have since become rare, each worth over 100 million coins today. Number 8. During the 2003 Halloween event, untradeable scythes were dropped. The drop happened on 2 days, the 31st of October and the 2nd of November during this year, and players could only own one scythe at a time. If they tried to pick up another one, a message said, "You already have a scythe, you don't need another one." If the scythe was lost or dropped, players can talk to Thessalia in the clothes shop in Varrock to get another one. Jagex originally didn't want to create a Halloween event for 2003 because they figured it would delay the planned release of RuneScape 2 on December 1st of the year, so they held a poll. If you take a look at it, players had a choice between either having a Halloween drop event or they could have chosen to keep Jagex working on RS2 and have a Pancake Day event in February of 2004 instead, meaning there was a chance that instead of having a scythe today, we could have had another edible holiday item and it would have been a pancake. Number 7. So there was no event in 2004 due to RuneScape 2 releasing, however there was one in 2005. The 2005 Halloween event saw the first introduction of the Scared emote, the Grim Reaper event upon dying, and the Zombie Head unique discontinued item. A passive group of zombies visited Lumbridge Swamp on the 31st of October during this year, and some of them had an insult option on them. Insulting a zombie would cause him to take off his head and drop it on the ground. If players caught the rolling head, it would be theirs to keep. There were also children trick-or-treating around Lumbridge, and you could either click a treat option or a trick option on them. If you chose treat, you could give them some coins and they'd give you sweets, but if you chose trick, you could scare them with your zombie head and they'd drop sweets and run away. During this event, all of the different colored sweets melted into chocolate dust after the event was over, all of them except the purple sweets, and this event is why purple sweets exist in RuneScape today. Number 6. The 2006 Halloween event started on the 30th of October and continued for 2 weeks until the 13th of November, whereas previous ones would disappear within a day or two. This event was based on the Ghostbusters movie, having similar elements and referencing the movie in a number of quotes during the event. You could start the event in Draenor by speaking to Diango. Apparently, he got an early jump on Christmas creating toys, but the workshop had been overrun by ghosts. He gives you an item called Ghostbuster 500, and you could use it to attack ghosts and get rid of them. If you received one in RuneScape 3, you can get it back from Diango, however it doesn't exist in old school RuneScape even though the event was recreated in old school RuneScape in 2013, the year that the version of the game was released. Once the event had been completed, you were given a skeleton costume as well as a jack-o'-lantern mask. Number 5. The 2007 Halloween event took place from the 22nd of October to the 5th of November. The Grim Reaper's servant just recently passed away and he was looking for a temporary replacement to make sure that his mansion was in good order to receive his new servant. During the event, players were given 3 tasks by the Grim Reaper to help clean up around the mansion. The first task was to make it through a spiderweb maze to retrieve the old servant's skull so the new servant wouldn't know what happened to the old one. The second task was to clean up around a lounge area of the mansion, placing items in their proper spots, and the third task was to go outside the mansion to a playground Death had set up that you had to test to make sure all of his traps were in order. After completing all 3 tasks, you received received the Grim Reaper's hood, as well as a new Halloween emote called Zombie Hand. Number 4. Skipping ahead a few years, the 2010 Halloween event was released on the 18th of October and later removed on the 9th of November. It featured a bone brooch which turned your player into a bunch of bones, and the Puppet Master emote for the reward. Northwest of Port Sarim, you had to speak to a relative of Party Pete's to start the event. This NPC was known as Pumpkin Pete, and he had a pumpkin head. Once you entered the portal to Death's mansion, you would have to complete various tasks to prepare for a party that was going to be thrown. You had to make moonshine, get Death an autograph of his favorite band member who was at the party, as well as track down some spiders. This event was different in that it was completed the same way as any other quest is in RuneScape, showing you the rewards on a scroll after it was complete, as well as rewarding quest points. Number 3. The Old School RuneScape 2013 Halloween event. With Old School RuneScape being released 8 months prior to this holiday event, players were eager to figure out what Jagex had planned for the holiday events in OSRS, as back in the real year of 2007, tradable rares and holiday events were a very big part of RuneScape tradition. This event was actually the recreated version of the real Halloween event that took place 7 years before OSRS in 2006. It was the Ghostbusters event brought back for players to see what it was like doing it, and for the ones who did it years before, it offered a lot of nostalgic memories. The rewards, however, were very different. You did receive the jack-o'-lantern mask as well as the skeleton outfit, but you also received 2 Halloween mask sets, a scythe, zombie head, as well as a brand new Halloween mask that was black with yellow eyes. Number 2. The next year in 2014, the Halloween event in Old School RuneScape was once again filled with nostalgia as it recreated the old 2007 event I spoke of earlier, where you had to be Death's temporary servant. Players once again got to meet Death, receive his Grim Reaper hood, as well as a couple emotes and Halloween holiday items from the years past too, including tradable rares once again. Unfortunately, rare items aren't so rare anymore in Old School RuneScape since they are given to players each year, but they do have some value to them. One of the interesting things about the remake of this event was some of the small changes Jagex made to the mansion. For example, on Death's dining table, you could actually see a computer sitting on the desk that had a blue screen, referencing the blue screen of Death. Number 1. If you haven't done it already, this year's Halloween event is happening right now, and it's actually very unique. It's not a remake of any past Halloween events from RuneScape 3, it's brand new. You enter a mansion that has a similar layout to that of Draenor Manor, and explore the mansion while figuring out riddles of NPCs that keep getting murdered by a masked killer. The whole event is based off of the popular horror movie series known as Scream. After completing all the riddles, you actually get the killer's mask and costume for yourself, looking a lot like the killer from the Scream movie series. And as always, you'll be able to get your hands on every single past holiday item that has ever existed in RuneScape. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're able to get some sort of nostalgia out of this video, and as I said before, I hope everyone has a good and safe Halloween. If you know what I should count down next, post it in the comment section and I'll try to make it happen. That's all I have for you guys today, and I will talk to you guys later.